I installed a Lorex LH050 Echo wireless camera system today, and I'll admit I was a little nervous installing this because I wasn't sure how a Wi-Fi camera system was going to work. I've read reports where they had connection problems and distance problems and whatnot, and I guess if you're careful, it can work very well. Now, all these cameras are in the house right now. They're temporary setup. The farthest is about 30 feet from the receiver, and all the pictures are great. I will be moving them outside in the future, but they linked up very quickly, very simply, and really, I didn't dream this would be as easy a setup as it was. As you can see, the system comes with 4 cameras. It's a 720p system. I believe it was a terabyte hard drive. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I think that's what it was, and I'm too lazy to look right now. The quality of the picture for 720p is very good, and we got all 4 here. All 4 cameras up and running. You can see the M just popped up in the upper right screen because it detected me moving, and that camera is now recording. I've set this up to record only when motion's coming. When the DVR is filled, it will loop over. So since this is a temporary home, it should be very easy on the recording. It's only going to record if anything's moving, and nothing's going to be moving unless somebody doesn't belong in here. Sorry about that. I had to change a battery in the camera. It was dying a little quicker than I thought it would. So as I was saying, the installation was simpler than expected. The cameras, you put on the antenna, you plug them in, and they link right up. I mean, it was as simple as that. I didn't have to go in and go searching for the cameras. They found the receiver immediately. I will warn you with the cameras, if you have to adjust the position of the camera, you will probably find the antenna is in the way of the adjustment screws. So you'll have to take off the antenna, do your adjustment, and then put the antenna back on. So it could be a little awkward if you're at a far end of the range, have to take off the antenna, and you can't check your angle of the shot. So just be forewarned. So far, that's the only real issue I had, and it was simple enough to overcome. Now, the unit itself, we'll start going around, and let me pan over. Now, right there, that is the receiver for the picture for the cameras. You got double antenna on it, and it plugs into the back of the Lorex DVR, and the DVR is a very nice looking box. It looks like basically like a router, modem, whatever, very neat and compact. I will say there is a USB port on the front. However, I'm using that for the mouse because I don't need to leave the mouse in all the time. You only need it to access the menus. So, to keep the wife happy for decorating, I can unplug the mouse, and the other stuff is all plugged in the back. Now, the connections are fairly simple. You have an HDMI input that goes to the TV. You have a USB input that goes to the receiver I just showed you. You have a USB input on the front that you can use for the mouse. You have your network connection, which connects to your router, so you can see it on your phone or laptop. And you have a power connection. There is also a VGA connection if you have an older monitor that does not handle HDMI. Now, what I did here that was a little different, since as you can see this is sort of in a home entertainment setup, I connected this through the input on my receiver. And I will be able to actually hook it up through my remote control so that when I hit the button. It will tell me security. I've changed the name on it. Then again, maybe not. Let's try that again. Here we go. I renamed the input security, and there we go. So now I can just use my Harmony remote. It'll come through my home entertainment system, and there we have it on the screen. So it can spot check fairly easily. Now there is a menu in there. I'm not going to bring it up now. The menu, you reach with your mouse, you can go through it, you can check your videos, adjust your recording standards. I will suggest, I was going crazy every time the motion indicator would come up, I would get a beeping. And I thought I had turned off the alarm. It turns out, to turn off the buzzer, you have to go in and do it for each camera, or you will go crazy, because every time something moves, your system's going to start beeping at you. Okay, so take that under advisement and however you want to do it, but it will drive you positively nuts. So the system was fairly easy to set up. It's neat and clean. The signal has been very solid. You know, I ran the HDMI, as I said, to the receiver, and the receiver is already connected to the TV. So all I had to do was change the input on the receiver to bring up the pictures, which is a little simpler than on my other system, which was wired, because there I ran the cable to the TV. And I may switch it to this method and let the receiver do the switching for me. So we'll see how it works in the long run. I'm impressed with the ease of setup. Once everything was plugged in, the camera's linked right up. You know, the menu's easy to access. And we just had a power outage here. So it's rebooting, and now we'll go back and show you on the laptop what's going on. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video I did on the wired system, I would highly recommend downloading the manual. I did that here. You can save it as PDF or print it out. I chose to print it out because sometimes I make notes as I'm doing things. I found it very handy with the old system. So far I haven't needed it with this. Go to their website and download the desktop and laptop software. It's more versatile than the software you will have on your phone, because it gives you full access to the controls. Although you're looking at a sub-channel, it gives you full access to the controls of what's going on with the DVR, so you can, it's easier to play back, record, capture, and do what you want to do with the software. And then, of course, you have the phone or tablet. We'll bring up the app, and there you go. So that, sorry, I slipped a little out of focus there. So you have the full system working for you, and it looks like the old system needed a dedicated port on the router. Apparently, after checking with them, this does not, so that you're basically good to go. Once you set up, I mean, quick, easy, simple, and smooth. So, you know, good luck, enjoy it, and I hope this helped. I know this was relatively quick and dirty, but I think it got the points across. So, you know, any questions? I'm sure I'll see them down below in the listings. So take care and enjoy.